Twin Star Exorcists is another story that is the victim of a bad anime adaptation. The anime is over 80% filler, and it kills the fast and efficient pacing of the story. If you didn't like the anime, I recommend giving the manga a chance because it's solid. One thing I really appreciate is how effective the story's formula is towards the start. The overbearing presence of battles in the battle genre is a growing complaint I've had. I call it battle syndrome. It leads to a lower amount of plot, character development, and themes. Twin Star avoids this with this formula. Each mini arc has the first half focused on establishing the characters and their inner and outer personal conflicts. Then in the second half, this is capitalized upon by having a fight that connects to those conflicts. In the first mini arc, which is chapter 1, Benio is introduced and Rokuro's desire to never be an exorcist again is established. When the fighting starts, Benio and innocent civilians are put in danger, so Rokuro is forced to break his promise and fight against the monsters using his exorcist powers. The fight connects to the personal conflict. In the mini arc from chapter 3, Rokuro's family is properly introduced, and Rokuro and Benio have friction over their opposing views on being an exorcist. The possibility of Benio getting Rokuro to return to being an exorcist is set up. In the second half, the family is put in trouble, and Rokuro and Benio go to save them. It connects. In chapter 4, Benio's traumatic past and the kegare that killed her parents are established. In the second half, she finds that kegare and fights him. She's outclassed and it forces the two heroes to work together again, pushing Rokuro a little more to being an exorcist. It connects. In chapter 6, Mayuri is established as Rokuro's friend in the first half. She doesn't want Rokuro to return to being an exorcist while Benio does. Rokuro's traumatic past is also gone into a little, which is the reason he didn't want to be an exorcist. In the second half of the mini arc, Mayuri gets turned into a kegare, but Rokuro and Benio are able to use their unique status as the Twin Star Exorcists to revert her back to normal, something that should be impossible. The fight brings an answer to the personal conflict from before. Rokuro needs to be an exorcist because he can do things that no one else is capable of doing. There's one more mini arc to this first section of the story before the time skip happens. This effective formula of tying personal conflicts to the fight ensures that there is a balance between actual story and fights, and also ensures that each fight has a unique meaning to the characters. Even though they're fighting hordes of identical monsters half of the time, and the power system and the fights aren't tactical, the power of the emotional stakes makes the story engaging and well written. Nearly every chapter in the first saga is like this, and it results in tight writing. Another strength Twin Star holds is its lightning fast pace. At least in the first saga, the author knew what he wanted and wasted no time getting there. The time skip happens at the end of chapter 18. Since these are monthly chapters containing 40 to 50 pages, each chapter is approximately one episode. That would mean that in 18 episodes, the story already established the main characters and the main villain, introduced one of the Gotei 13 captains, put him out of commission, put the heroes in their first battle against the main villain, and had a time skip. The art in the manga is beautiful. As a monthly manga, the author has more time to draw, and as far as I went, there was never a drop off in art quality. Usually, monthly manga don't deal with the weekly stress, so their art stays up. Furthermore, the author makes use of tones and digital techniques that are rarely seen in weeklies. The design style of the powers and weapons are also beautiful. The music in the anime is pretty good. I like openings 1 and 4. You know the drill. Opening check. OSC check. I would recommend reading the manga and then watching the canon parts of the anime to get the best experience. Because of its effective story formula and the speed of the pace in the early parts, Twin Star Exorcists deserves more attention. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.